Deep within the shadows of the world's oldest temples lie secrets that have captivated humanity for centuries. These sacred sites, once brimming with unimaginable wealth, gold, jewels, and artifacts of immense cultural and spiritual significance, now stand as silent witnesses to one of history's most enduring mysteries. Where did these treasures go? Were they stolen by cunning thieves, hidden away by ancient priests, or simply lost to the relentless march of time? The disappearance of these priceless relics has baffled historians, archaeologists, and treasure hunters alike, leaving behind a trail of questions that defy easy answers. Today, we embark on a journey to uncover the truth behind these vanishing treasures, exploring the most compelling theories, historical accounts, and modern investigations that seek to solve one of the greatest puzzles of the ancient world. Join us as we delve into the heart of these sacred spaces, where history and mystery intertwine, and where the past whispers tantalizing clues to those willing to listen. The ancient temples of our world were more than just places of worship. They were the beating hearts of civilizations, radiating power, wealth, and divine connection. Picture the towering columns of the Temple of Karnak in Egypt, its walls shimmering with gold and hieroglyphs that told stories of gods and pharaohs. Or imagine Göbekli Tepe in modern-day Turkey, a site so ancient it predates even the pyramids, its stone pillars carved with intricate symbols that hint at rituals lost to time. These temples were not merely buildings, they were repositories of unimaginable treasures, gold, jewels, sacred relics, and artifacts that symbolized both earthly wealth and divine favor. For the people of these ancient cultures, these treasures were more than material possessions. They were expressions of identity, power, and a deep connection to the gods they worshipped. Gold and precious stones weren't just stored for their monetary value, they were offerings to deities meant to secure blessings, ensure prosperity, and maintain cosmic balance. Sacred relics, often believed to hold supernatural powers, were central to religious ceremonies and rituals. These treasures also served as a testament to the skill and artistry of ancient craftsmen, whose work reflected the values and beliefs of their societies. But beyond their spiritual and cultural significance, these treasures offer us a window into the lives of those who came before us. They tell stories of trade routes, alliances, and the rise and fall of empires. They reveal how ancient people understood their place in the universe and how they sought to honor the divine. Yet, as magnificent as these temples and their treasures were, their disappearance has left a void in our understanding of history. The loss of these artifacts isn't just a matter of missing gold or jewels, it's a gap in our knowledge of how these civilizations thrived, worshipped, and ultimately declined. What happened to these treasures? Were they looted by invaders, hidden away to protect them from destruction, or simply lost to the passage of time? The answers to these questions could reshape our understanding of the ancient world. And as we explore the mysteries surrounding these missing treasures, we begin to see how their absence has left us with more questions than answers, urging us to dig deeper into the shadows of history. Among the world's oldest temples, Göbekli Tepe stands as a testament to humanity's earliest attempts to connect with the divine. Located in modern-day Turkey, this site dates back over 11,000 years, making it older than Stonehenge and even the Great Pyramids of Giza. Its massive stone pillars, intricately carved with animals and symbols, suggest a complex society capable of organizing large-scale construction long before the advent of agriculture or written language. What treasures might have been housed here? While no gold or jewels have been found, the site itself is a treasure, a window into the spiritual lives of our ancient ancestors. Göbekli Tepe challenges our understanding of early human societies, hinting at rituals and beliefs that remain shrouded in mystery. moving to the sands of Egypt, the Temple of Amun-Ra in Karnak offers a stark contrast in both scale and splendor. Built over centuries by pharaohs eager to demonstrate their devotion to the sun god Amun-Ra, this sprawling complex was once adorned with gold, silver, and precious stones. Its towering obelisks and colossal statues were not just architectural feats, but also symbols of divine favor and royal power. The temple was a hub of religious activity, where priests conducted elaborate ceremonies and offerings to ensure the god's blessings. Yet, despite its grandeur, much of its treasure has vanished, leaving behind empty chambers and unanswered questions. What happened to the riches that once filled these halls? Were they plundered by invaders, repurposed by later rulers, or hidden away to protect them from desecration? Far to the east, in the fertile plains of Mesopotamia, the Ziggurat of rises as a monument to the ingenuity of the Sumerian civilization. Built around 4,000 years ago, this stepped pyramid was dedicated to the moon god Nana and served as both a religious center and a political symbol. Its gleaming white walls, once visible for miles, were a beacon of the city's wealth and power. Inside, treasures such as gold jewelry, ceremonial weapons, and sacred statues were stored, reflecting the city's prosperity and its rulers' devotion. But like so many ancient sites, the Ziggurat of has been stripped of its riches, leaving us to wonder how such a powerful civilization could lose so much of its cultural heritage. These temples were more than just places of worship, they were the lifeblood of their societies, serving as centers of commerce, politics, and spiritual life. The treasures they housed were not merely valuable, they were deeply symbolic, representing the connection between the earthly and the divine. Their disappearance is more than a historical curiosity, it's a puzzle that challenges us to rethink what we know about the past. As we explore the mysteries of these ancient sites, we begin to see how their treasures were not just lost but also transformed into legends, their stories echoing through the ages. What secrets do these temples still hold, and what might their missing treasures reveal about the civilizations that built them? Göbekli Tepe, often hailed as the world's oldest temple, is a site that defies expectations. Built over 11,000 years ago, long before the rise of agriculture or written language, this ancient sanctuary challenges everything we thought we knew about early human societies. Its massive stone pillars, carved with intricate depictions of animals and symbols, suggest a level of sophistication and spiritual depth that seems almost otherworldly. But while the temple itself is a marvel, it raises a tantalizing question. What treasures once filled its sacred spaces? Unlike the gold and jewels found in later temples, Göbekli Tepe's artifacts remain elusive, leaving us to piece together clues from the fragments left behind. One theory suggests that the treasures of Göbekli Tepe were not material in the traditional sense. Instead of gold or precious stones, the temple may have housed ceremonial objects, tools, carvings, or ritual items imbued with spiritual significance. These objects could have been used in ceremonies to honor the gods or mark important events, serving as a bridge between the human and divine realms. Some researchers speculate that the carvings on the pillars themselves might have been the primary treasures, acting as a form of early storytelling or spiritual instruction. If so, the temple's true wealth may have been its ability to inspire and unite its builders, offering a glimpse into the beliefs and values of a society that existed at the dawn of civilization. Another intriguing possibility is that Göbekli Tepe's treasures were more practical in nature. Some archaeologists propose that the site could have been a hub for early forms of trade or exchange, with objects like obsidian tools, animal hides, or even foodstuffs serving as a kind of proto-currency. These items, while not as flashy as gold or jewels, would have been incredibly valuable to a society still in its infancy. The temple's central location and monumental scale suggest it may have been a gathering place for people from far and wide, making it a natural center for both spiritual and economic activity. If this theory holds, the treasures of Göbekli Tepe might have been as much about survival and connection as they were about worship. But what happened to these treasures? The temple's abandonment and subsequent burial under layers of earth have left us with more questions than answers. Some believe that the site was intentionally buried, perhaps to protect its sacred objects from desecration or to mark the end of an era. Others argue that the burial was a natural process, with wind and rain gradually covering the temple over thousands of years. Either way, the result is the same: a treasure trove of knowledge and artifacts lost to time, waiting to be rediscovered. As we ponder the fate of Göbekli Tepe's treasures, one thing becomes clear: their disappearance is not just a loss of objects, but a loss of understanding. These artifacts could hold the key to unlocking the secrets of humanity's earliest spiritual practices, offering insights into how our ancestors made sense of the world around them. Were these treasures intentionally hidden, their secrets safeguarded for future generations, or were they simply lost, their stories erased by the relentless passage of time? The answers may lie buried beneath the stones of Göbekli Tepe, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. And as we continue to explore this ancient site, we are reminded that sometimes the greatest treasures are not the ones we can hold in our hands, but the stories they tell and the mysteries they inspire. The Temple of Amun-Ra in Karnak stands as one of ancient Egypt's most awe-inspiring monuments, a sprawling complex that once glittered with unimaginable wealth. Gold-plated walls, towering obelisks, and statues adorned with precious stones made this temple a testament to the power and piety of the pharaohs. It was more than a place of worship; it was a symbol of Egypt's divine connection, a treasure house of offerings meant to appease the gods and ensure the kingdom's prosperity. But today, much of that splendor is gone, leaving behind empty chambers and a haunting question: where did all the gold go? Historical records tell us that the Temple of Amun-Ra was a prime target for invaders. The Assyrians, led by King Ashurbanipal in the 7th century BCE, were among the first to plunder its riches. Centuries later, the Persians under Cambyses Roman II followed suit, stripping the temple of its treasures as they sought to assert their dominance over Egypt. These invasions left the temple vulnerable, its once sacred halls ransacked and its treasures scattered across empires. But while these accounts explain some of the losses, they don't tell the whole story. Could there have been more to the disappearance of Karnak's wealth than mere looting? One compelling theory suggests that the priests of Amun-Ra, foreseeing the temple's vulnerability, may have taken matters into their own hands. Faced with the threat of invasion, they could have hidden the most valuable treasures in secret chambers or remote locations, safeguarding them from plunderers. Ancient texts hint at the existence of such hidden vaults, though none have been definitively discovered. Modern archaeologists continue to search for these elusive spaces, using advanced technology to scan the temple's foundations for signs of concealed rooms. Could the missing gold of Karnak still lie hidden, waiting to be uncovered? Another possibility is that the treasures were moved to other temples or royal tombs, repurposed by later rulers who sought to protect Egypt's wealth. The pharaohs were known for their ingenuity in preserving their legacy, and it's not hard to imagine them orchestrating the relocation of sacred relics to safer locations. Some scholars even speculate that parts of Karnak's treasure may have been buried in the Valley of the Kings, hidden among the tombs of the pharaohs themselves. If true, this would mean that the treasures of Amun-Ra were not lost but deliberately concealed, their secrets guarded by the sands of time. The mystery of Karnak's vanished gold is more than a tale of theft and loss. It's a window into the resilience and resourcefulness of ancient Egypt. The temple's treasures were not just symbols of wealth, They were expressions of faith, power, and cultural identity. Their disappearance challenges us to consider how civilizations protect their most sacred possessions in times of crisis. Were the treasures of Amun-Ra stolen, hidden, or simply lost to history? As we continue to explore the secrets of Karnak, we are reminded that the past is not always what it seems, and that the greatest treasures may still lie hidden, waiting to be found. The Ziggurat of rising from the plains of ancient Mesopotamia, is a testament to the ingenuity and ambition of the Sumerian civilization. Built around 4,000 years ago, this towering stepped pyramid was dedicated to the moon god Nana, serving as both a religious sanctuary and a symbol of the city's power. Its gleaming white walls, once visible for miles, were a beacon of prosperity and divine favor. Inside, the ziggurat housed treasures that reflected the wealth and devotion of its people: gold jewelry, ceremonial weapons, sacred statues, and offerings meant to honor the gods. But today, much of this wealth has vanished, leaving behind a haunting question. What happened to the treasures of Wars and invasions played a significant role in the disappearance of these relics. Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization, was also a battleground for empires. The Elamites, Babylonians, and Assyrians all vied for control of this fertile region, and with each conquest came the looting of its sacred sites. The Ziggurat of as a symbol of Sumerian power, would have been a prime target. Historical records suggest that invaders stripped the temple of its valuables, melting down gold and silver to fund their own campaigns or repurposing sacred artifacts as trophies of war. These acts of plunder not only robbed the ziggurat of its treasures but also erased pieces of Sumerian culture, leaving gaps in our understanding of this ancient society. Natural disasters also took their toll. Mesopotamia's location between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers made it fertile but vulnerable to flooding. Over centuries, rising waters and shifting riverbeds may have buried parts of the ziggurat and its treasures under layers of silt. Earthquakes, too, could have caused structural damage, leading to the collapse of chambers where relics were stored. While some artifacts have been recovered from the site, many more remain hidden, their fate uncertain. Could they still lie buried beneath the ruins, waiting for modern technology to uncover them? Time itself has been an unrelenting force in the loss of these treasures. The passage of millennia has eroded not only the physical structure of the ziggurat but also the memory of what it once contained. Some relics may have been repurposed by later civilizations, their original significance forgotten. Gold and silver objects, for example, could have been melted down and recast into new forms, their history erased with each transformation. Even the stones of the ziggurat itself were likely reused in other constructions, a common practice in ancient times that further obscured the site's original grandeur. Yet, despite these losses, the ziggurat of continues to captivate us. Its enduring presence is a reminder of the resilience of human creativity and the enduring power of faith. The treasures it once held may be gone, but their legacy lives on in the stories we tell and the questions we ask. What secrets might these missing relics reveal about the Sumerians and their world? Could some of them still exist, hidden in plain sight or buried beneath the sands of time? As we explore the mysteries of the ziggurat of we are reminded that the past is not just a collection of objects but a tapestry of human experience, woven with threads of ambition, devotion, and loss. And in that tapestry, the missing treasures of are not just gaps, they are invitations to keep searching, to keep wondering, and to keep uncovering the stories that connect us to our ancient ancestors. The Temple of Solomon, often regarded as one of the most legendary structures in human history, stands at the heart of one of the greatest mysteries of the ancient world. Built in Jerusalem around 3,000 years ago, this magnificent temple was said to house the Ark of the Covenant, a sacred chest believed to contain the original stone tablets of the Ten Commandments. The Ark was more than a religious artifact. It was a symbol of divine presence and covenant, revered by the Israelites as the ultimate connection between heaven and earth. But like so many treasures of antiquity, the Ark vanished without a trace, leaving behind a mystery that has captivated historians, archaeologists, and treasure hunters for centuries. One of the most enduring theories about the Ark's disappearance suggests it was hidden by priests to protect it from invaders. When the Babylonians, led by King Nebuchadnezzar, sacked Jerusalem in 586 BC, they destroyed the Temple of Solomon and carried off its treasures. Yet, historical accounts make no mention of the Ark being among the spoils. This has led some to believe that the priests, foreseeing the temple's destruction, secretly moved the Ark to a secure location. Could it have been buried beneath the Temple Mount, hidden in a remote cave, or even taken to a distant land? The lack of evidence only deepens the intrigue, fueling countless expeditions and theories over the centuries. Another compelling idea is that the Ark was taken by invaders but later lost or destroyed. Some scholars point to ancient texts and legends that suggest the Ark may have been carried off to Babylon or Egypt, only to disappear during the chaos of war or the passage of time. Others speculate that it was dismantled, its gold melted down and repurposed, leaving no trace of its original form. If this is true, the Ark's legacy lives on not as a physical object but as a symbol of faith and mystery, its story woven into the fabric of religious and cultural history. The fascination with the Ark's potential discovery has inspired countless searchers, from medieval treasure hunters to modern-day archaeologists. Some believe it could still be hidden in Ethiopia, where local tradition claims the Ark resides in the Church of St. Mary of Zion in Axum. Others suggest it might lie beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, waiting for the right moment to be uncovered. Advances in technology, such as ground-penetrating radar and 3D mapping, have renewed hope that the Ark could one day be found. Yet, despite these efforts, the Ark remains elusive, its fate as mysterious as ever. What makes the Ark of the Covenant so compelling is not just its religious significance, but the questions it raises about history, faith, and human ingenuity. Was it a real artifact imbued with divine power, or a symbol crafted to unite a people? Could it still exist, hidden away in some forgotten corner of the world, or was it lost to the ravages of time? The mystery of the Ark challenges us to consider how we preserve and interpret the past, and how the stories we tell shape our understanding of the divine. As we explore the enigma of the Temple of Solomon and its lost treasure, we are reminded that some mysteries are not meant to be solved. They are meant to inspire us to keep searching, to keep questioning, and to keep dreaming of what might lie just beyond the horizon. High atop the Acropolis in Athens, the Parthenon stands as a symbol of ancient Greece's artistic and architectural genius. Built in the 5th century BCE, this temple, dedicated to the goddess Athena, was once adorned with intricate sculptures and friezes that told stories of gods, heroes, and the city's glorious history. Among its most famous decorations were the Elgin marbles, a collection of marble sculptures and reliefs that once graced the Parthenon's pediments and metopes. But today, these masterpieces are no longer in Athens. Instead, they reside thousands of miles away in the British Museum, sparking one of the most heated debates in the world of cultural heritage. The story of how the Elgin marbles ended up in London begins in the early 19th century. Thomas Bruce, the 7th Earl of Elgin, was serving as Britain's ambassador to the Ottoman Empire, which controlled Greece at the time. Claiming permission from Ottoman authorities, Elgin removed a significant portion of the Parthenon sculptures and shipped them to England. His actions were controversial even then, with critics accusing him of vandalism and theft. Yet, Elgin defended his actions, arguing that he was preserving the marbles from further damage and neglect. By the early 1800s, the Parthenon had already suffered centuries of decay, war, and looting, and Elgin believed he was saving these treasures for posterity. Fast forward to today, and the debate over the Elgin marbles remains as contentious as ever. Greece has long called for their return, arguing that the marbles are an integral part of their cultural heritage and belong in their original context. The Parthenon, they say, is incomplete without them, and their presence in the British Museum represents a painful reminder of colonial exploitation. On the other side of the argument, the British Museum maintains that the marbles were legally acquired and are now part of a global collection, accessible to millions of visitors each year. They argue that their removal saved the marbles from potential destruction and that their current location allows them to be appreciated in a broader historical context. This controversy raises profound questions about who owns the past and how we should preserve and share cultural heritage. Should ancient treasures be returned to their countries of origin, or do they belong to humanity as a whole? The case of the Elgin marbles is just one example of a much larger issue. Across the globe, countless artifacts from ancient civilizations are housed in museums far from their original homes. From Egyptian obelisks in Rome to Mesopotamian relics in Paris, the movement of these treasures reflects centuries of conquest, exploration, and cultural exchange. But as the world becomes more interconnected, the call for repatriation grows louder, challenging us to rethink how we honor and protect the legacy of ancient cultures. The story of the Parthenon and the Elgin marbles is more than a dispute over ownership. It's a reflection of how history is shaped by power, politics, and perspective. These sculptures are not just beautiful works of art, they are symbols of identity, memory, and the enduring connection between people and their past. As we grapple with the ethical questions surrounding their fate, we are reminded that the treasures of the ancient world are not just objects, they are stories, waiting to be told and retold. And in those stories, we find not only the echoes of lost civilizations, but also the challenges and opportunities of preserving our shared heritage for generations to come. Nestled deep within the jungles of Cambodia, the sprawling temple complex of Angkor Wat stands as a testament to the grandeur of the Khmer Empire. Built in the 12th century, this UNESCO World Heritage Site was once the heart of a thriving civilization, its towering spires and intricate carvings reflecting the empire's wealth, power, and devotion to the Hindu god Vishnu. But beyond its architectural marvels, Angkor Wat is also the subject of enduring legends, stories of hidden treasures, secret chambers, and artifacts of unimaginable value that vanished as the empire declined. What happened to these riches, and could they still be waiting to be discovered beneath the temple's ancient stones? At its height, Angkor Wat was more than just a religious center. It was a symbol of the Khmer Empire's dominance. The temple's walls were adorned with gold, its courtyards filled with statues of gods and kings, and its vaults likely held offerings of precious gems and ceremonial objects. These treasures were not just symbols of wealth, they were expressions of the empire's spiritual and cultural identity. Yet, as the Khmer Empire began to decline in the 14th century, the temple fell into disrepair. Wars, shifting trade routes, and environmental changes weakened the empire, and Angkor Wat was gradually abandoned, left to the mercy of the encroaching jungle. The jungle, with its relentless growth, played a significant role in the temple's transformation. Over centuries, vines and roots crept into the stonework, toppling walls and burying chambers under layers of earth and vegetation. This natural reclamation not only obscured the temple's grandeur but also hid its treasures from view. Some artifacts may have been looted by invaders or local villagers, while others could have been swallowed by the jungle, their locations forgotten. The result is a tantalizing mystery. What remains of Angkor Wat's treasure hoard, and where might it be hidden? One theory suggests that the Khmer rulers, anticipating the empire's decline, may have hidden their most valuable treasures to protect them from invaders. Secret chambers or underground vaults could have been constructed within the temple complex, designed to safeguard gold, jewels, and sacred relics. While modern archaeologists have uncovered some artifacts, much of the temple's interior remains unexplored, leaving open the possibility that significant treasures are still concealed beneath its ruins. Advanced technologies like ground-penetrating radar and LiDAR scanning have begun to reveal hidden structures and pathways, offering hope that more discoveries lie ahead. Another intriguing possibility is that some treasures were repurposed or relocated as the empire's fortunes waned. As the Khmer people adapted to changing circumstances, they may have moved valuable objects to other temples or even integrated them into new cultural practices. This theory raises fascinating questions about how societies preserve their heritage in times of crisis. Were the treasures of Angkor Wat lost, or were they transformed into new forms, their stories continuing in ways we have yet to understand? The mystery of Angkor Wat's treasure hoard is more than a historical puzzle. It's a reminder of the fragility of human achievement and the enduring power of myth. The temple's treasures, whether lost or hidden, represent not just material wealth but the dreams, beliefs, and ingenuity of a civilization that once thrived in the heart of Southeast Asia. As we explore the ruins of Angkor Wat, we are invited to imagine what might still lie beneath its stones, waiting to be uncovered. And in that search, we find not only the echoes of a lost empire, but also the enduring allure of the unknown, urging us to keep digging, keep wondering, and keep dreaming of what might still be found. The Temple of Artemis at Ephesus was more than just a place of worship. It was a marvel of the ancient world, a symbol of human ambition and devotion. As one of the seven wonders, it stood as a testament to the grandeur of the ancient Greeks, its towering columns and intricate sculptures drawing pilgrims and travelers from across the Mediterranean. Dedicated to Artemis, the goddess of the hunt and fertility, the temple was not only a spiritual center but also a treasure house of unimaginable wealth. Gold, silver, and priceless artworks adorned its halls, offerings from kings and commoners alike who sought the goddess's favor. Yet, despite its fame and splendor, the Temple of Artemis met a fate as dramatic as its creation, leaving behind a legacy of mystery and loss. The temple's history is a story of resilience and ruin. Built and rebuilt multiple times, it faced destruction at the hands of both nature and humanity. The first major blow came in 356 BC, when a man named Herostratus set fire to the temple, allegedly to immortalize his name. The flames consumed much of the structure along with its treasures, but the Ephesians, determined to honor their goddess, rebuilt it even grander than before. This new temple stood for centuries, a beacon of cultural and religious significance, until it was sacked by the Goths in the 3rd century CE. Each destruction and reconstruction brought changes, with some treasures lost forever and others repurposed or replaced. Over time, the temple's original artifacts became scattered, their stories fading into obscurity. What happened to the treasures of Artemis? Some were undoubtedly looted by invaders, their gold and silver melted down or carried off as spoils of war. Others may have been destroyed in the fires and collapses that marked the temple's turbulent history. But there's another intriguing possibility. Some of these treasures could have been repurposed in later constructions. Ancient builders often reused materials from older structures, and the Temple of Artemis, with its wealth of marble and precious metals, would have been a tempting source. Could fragments of its sculptures or columns have found their way into other buildings, their origins forgotten over time? This idea opens up a fascinating line of inquiry, suggesting that the legacy of Artemis's temple might still be hidden in plain sight, woven into the fabric of other ancient sites. The mystery of the Temple of Artemis is not just about lost treasures, it's about the enduring power of human creativity and the fragility of our achievements. Each time the temple was rebuilt, it reflected the hopes and aspirations of a new generation, a testament to the resilience of faith and culture. Yet, with each reconstruction, something of the original was lost, leaving us to wonder what secrets the first temple might have held. Were its treasures more magnificent than those that came after? Did they hold clues to the beliefs and practices of the earliest worshippers of Artemis? These questions remind us that history is not just a record of what remains, but also a story of what has been lost, and how those losses shape our understanding of the past. As we explore the fate of the Temple of Artemis, we are reminded that the treasures of the ancient world are not just objects. They are symbols of the human spirit, of our desire to create, to honor, and to endure. The temple's missing artifacts may never be found, but their absence invites us to imagine what they might have been, and to consider how the echoes of the past continue to resonate in the present. Whether hidden beneath the earth, repurposed in other structures, or lost to the passage of time, the treasures of Artemis remain a tantalizing mystery, urging us to keep searching, keep questioning, and keep dreaming of the wonders that once were. Rising majestically from the lush landscapes of central Java, the Borobudur Temple is a masterpiece of ancient architecture and spiritual devotion. Built in the 9th century, this colossal Buddhist monument is a marvel of human ingenuity, its 9 stacked platforms adorned with over 2,000 relief panels and 500 Buddha statues. Borobudur was more than just a temple, it was a pilgrimage site, a place where worshippers could ascend its terraces, symbolizing the journey from the earthly realm to enlightenment. But as magnificent as it is, Borobudur holds a mystery that has intrigued scholars and treasure hunters alike. What happened to its treasures, and could they still be hidden within its ancient walls? For centuries, Borobudur lay forgotten, buried under layers of volcanic ash and jungle growth. The temple's abandonment remains a subject of debate, with theories ranging from the decline of Buddhism in Java to the devastating effects of volcanic eruptions. Mount Merapi, one of Indonesia's most active volcanoes, looms nearby, and its eruptions may have forced the temple's caretakers to flee, leaving Borobudur to the mercy of nature. Over time, the jungle reclaimed the site, and the temple became a distant memory, its treasures seemingly lost to history. But this very abandonment might have been a blessing in disguise. The layers of ash and vegetation that buried Borobudur could have acted as a protective shield, preserving its relics from looters and the elements. What treasures might Borobudur have held? While no definitive records exist, the temple's grandeur suggests it was once a repository of sacred objects, golden statues, ceremonial relics, and perhaps even ancient manuscripts. These items would have been offerings to the Buddha, symbols of devotion meant to inspire and guide pilgrims on their spiritual journey. Some speculate that the temple's builders, foreseeing its decline, may have hidden these treasures within its structure, sealing them in secret chambers or burying them beneath its foundations. If true, these relics could offer invaluable insights into the beliefs and practices of ancient Javanese Buddhism, shedding light on a civilization that thrived over 1,000 years ago. Modern excavations and restoration efforts have revealed tantalizing clues, but much of Borobudur's interior remains unexplored. Advanced technologies like ground-penetrating radar and 3D imaging have opened new possibilities for uncovering hidden chambers or artifacts without damaging the temple's delicate structure. Yet the question remains, should we disturb this ancient site in search of its treasures? Or should we let its secrets remain buried, preserving the temple's mystique and integrity? This dilemma reflects a broader debate in archaeology: how to balance the pursuit of knowledge with the need to protect and respect our cultural heritage. As we stand before Borobudur today, its towering spires and intricate carvings remind us of the ingenuity and devotion of its builders. The temple's missing treasures are more than just objects, they are fragments of a story, pieces of a puzzle that connect us to a distant past. Whether these relics are still hidden within Borobudur's stones or lost to time, their absence invites us to imagine what might have been and to appreciate the enduring legacy of this ancient wonder. And as we continue to explore its mysteries, we are reminded that some treasures are not just about what we find, but about the journey of discovery itself, a journey that keeps us searching, wondering, and marveling at the wonders of the ancient world. High in the Andes Mountains, the Temple of the Sun in Cusco, Peru, once stood as the spiritual and political heart of the Inca Empire. Known as Coricancha, or the Golden Enclosure, this sacred site was a dazzling testament to the Incas' reverence for Inti, the sun god. Its walls were said to be sheathed in gold, its gardens adorned with golden statues of animals and plants, and its altars gleaming with precious metals. For the Inca, gold was not a symbol of wealth in the way we think of it today. It was a sacred material, a reflection of the sun's divine power. But this golden sanctuary would not remain untouched for long. The arrival of Spanish conquistadors in the 16th century marked the beginning of the temple's tragic downfall. When Francisco Pizarro and his forces reached Cusco in 1533, they were awestruck by the splendor of Coricancha. The temple's golden walls and intricate decorations were unlike anything they had ever seen. Yet for the Spanish, gold was not a sacred offering. It was a commodity to be seized and melted down. Over the following years, the conquistadors systematically stripped the temple of its treasures, melting its gold into ingots to be shipped back to Spain. The once magnificent Coricancha was left in ruins, its sacred artifacts lost to the fires of greed and conquest. But while much of the temple's gold was plundered, whispers of hidden treasures began to emerge, suggesting that not all of its riches fell into Spanish hands. One of the most enduring legends surrounding Coricancha is that the Inca, foreseeing the Spanish invasion, hid a portion of their gold to protect it from the invaders. Stories tell of secret tunnels and chambers beneath the temple, where priests and nobles concealed sacred objects and golden offerings. Some accounts even suggest that the Inca transported gold to remote locations in the Andes, burying it in hidden caches that have yet to be discovered. These tales have fueled countless expeditions and treasure hunts over the centuries, but the truth remains elusive. Could the missing gold of Coricancha still lie hidden, waiting to be uncovered in the mountains of Peru? The fate of the Temple of the Sun's treasures raises profound questions about the clash of cultures and the resilience of a civilization under siege. For the Inca, the loss of Coricancha's gold was not just a material blow. It was a spiritual and cultural catastrophe. The temple's treasures were more than objects. They were expressions of a worldview, a connection to the divine that was severed by the Spanish conquest. Yet, even in the face of such devastation, the Incas' ingenuity and determination to preserve their heritage offer a glimmer of hope. The possibility that some of their sacred gold remains hidden is a reminder that the past is not always as lost as it seems. As we reflect on the story of Coricancha, we are reminded of the fragility of cultural heritage and the enduring power of myth. The temple's missing gold is more than a historical mystery. It is a symbol of resistance, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between a people and their beliefs. Whether these treasures are still hidden in the Andes or lost to history, their legacy lives on in the stories we tell and the questions we ask. And as we continue to explore the mysteries of the Inca Empire, we are invited to imagine what might still lie beneath the earth, waiting to reveal the secrets of a civilization that once shone as brightly as the sun itself. The Temple Mount in Jerusalem is one of the most sacred and contested sites in the world, a place where history, religion, and politics collide. For centuries, this ancient plateau has been at the heart of Jewish, Christian, and Islamic traditions, each claiming a deep connection to its storied past. But beneath its surface lies a mystery that has intrigued scholars and treasure hunters for generations. What happened to the treasures of the Second Temple, and could they still be hidden somewhere within or beneath the Temple Mount? The Second Temple, built by King Herod the Great in the 1st century BCE, was a marvel of ancient engineering and artistry. Its inner sanctum, the Holy of Holies, was said to house the Ark of the Covenant, along with other sacred artifacts like the golden menorah and the table of shewbread. These treasures were not just symbols of faith, they were central to Jewish worship and identity. Yet, when the Romans destroyed the temple in 70 CE, its treasures vanished, leaving behind a void that has never been filled. Were they carried off as spoils of war, hidden by priests to protect them from desecration, or lost in the chaos of the temple's destruction? One of the most enduring theories suggests that the treasures were hidden in secret chambers beneath the Temple Mount. Ancient texts and legends speak of underground tunnels and vaults where priests may have concealed the most sacred objects before the Roman invasion. Some even believe that the Ark of the Covenant, the most revered of all the temple's treasures, lies buried deep beneath the mount, waiting to be rediscovered. But exploring these possibilities is no simple task. The Temple Mount is not just an archaeological site. It's a place of profound religious significance, and any attempt to excavate or disturb it is fraught with political and cultural sensitivities. Today, the Temple Mount is home to the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, two of Islam's holiest sites. This makes any archaeological investigation a delicate balancing act, requiring cooperation between religious authorities, governments, and scholars. Modern technology, however, offers a glimmer of hope. Ground-penetrating radar and other non-invasive techniques have been used to map the subterranean structures beneath the mount, revealing hidden passages and chambers that could hold clues to the temple's lost treasures. Yet, even with these tools, the challenges remain immense. The site's sacred status means that any excavation must be approached with the utmost care, respecting the beliefs and traditions of all who hold it dear. The mystery of the Temple Mount's treasures is more than a historical puzzle. It's a reflection of the enduring power of faith and the complexities of preserving our shared heritage. Whether these artifacts are still hidden beneath the mount or lost to history, their story continues to captivate us, reminding us of the deep connections between people, their beliefs, and the places they hold sacred. As we look to the future, the possibility of uncovering these secrets remains tantalizing, a reminder that the past is never truly lost. It's simply waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. And in that search, we find not only the echoes of ancient civilizations, but also the enduring hope that some mysteries are meant to be solved. The Temple of Hera in Olympia, Greece, stands as a testament to the grandeur of ancient Greek religion and architecture. Dedicated to Hera, the queen of the gods and wife of Zeus, this temple was one of the oldest and most revered sites in the ancient world. Built around 600 BCE, it was a place of pilgrimage where worshippers brought offerings of gold, silver, and other precious items to honor the goddess. These offerings were not just gifts, they were expressions of devotion, gratitude, and hope, carefully placed within the temple's sacred halls. Yet today, many of these treasures are missing, their fate shrouded in mystery. What happened to the offerings of Hera's temple, and where might they be now? The decline of the Temple of Hera began long before its physical collapse. As the centuries passed, the rise of Christianity and the decline of ancient Greek religion led to a gradual abandonment of the site. Without the constant care of devoted worshippers, the temple fell into disrepair. Earthquakes and natural erosion further weakened its structure, and over time, the once magnificent building was reduced to ruins. But it wasn't just the passage of time that took its toll. Human intervention played a significant role in the disappearance of the temple's treasures. As the site lost its religious significance, it became a target for looters and opportunists who saw its artifacts as valuable commodities rather than sacred objects. One theory suggests that many of the temple's offerings were repurposed by later civilizations. In ancient times, it was common for materials from older structures to be reused in new constructions. Marble columns, gold ornaments, and even statues could have been taken and incorporated into other buildings or melted down for their raw materials. This practice, while practical for those who carried it out, meant that the original context and significance of these artifacts were lost. What was once a sacred offering to Hera might have ended up as part of a Christian church or a Roman villa, its history erased by the hands of time. Another possibility is that some of the temple's treasures were stolen outright. The ancient world was no stranger to theft, and the Temple of Hera, with its wealth of offerings, would have been a tempting target. Invaders, pirates, or even local thieves could have plundered the site, carrying off its riches to be sold or traded far from Olympia. The lack of detailed records from this period makes it difficult to trace the fate of these stolen artifacts, leaving us to wonder where they might have ended up. Could some of them still exist, hidden away in private collections or buried beneath the earth, waiting to be rediscovered? The mystery of the Temple of Hera's lost offerings is more than a historical curiosity. It's a reminder of how fragile our connection to the past can be. These artifacts were not just objects, they were expressions of faith, hope, and human creativity. Their disappearance leaves us with a void, a gap in our understanding of how ancient people worshipped and what they valued. Yet, even in their absence, these treasures continue to inspire us, urging us to imagine what they might have been and to appreciate the stories they once told. As we explore the ruins of the Temple of Hera, we are reminded that the past is not just about what remains, it's also about what has been lost, and how those losses shape our understanding of history. And in that search, we find not only the echoes of a forgotten world, but also the enduring allure of the unknown, inviting us to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep uncovering the secrets of the ancient past. The Temple of Jupiter in Baalbek, Lebanon, stands as one of the most awe-inspiring remnants of the ancient Roman world. Built during the reign of Emperor Augustus, this colossal structure was dedicated to Jupiter, the king of the Roman gods, and was once adorned with some of the largest and most magnificent statues ever created. Towering over the surrounding landscape, the temple was a testament to Roman engineering and ambition, its grandeur designed to inspire awe and reverence. Yet today, the temple lies in ruins, its once mighty statues missing, leaving behind a mystery that has puzzled historians and archaeologists for centuries. What happened to these colossal figures, and where might they be now? The story of the Temple of Jupiter's decline is one of both natural and human forces. Over the centuries, earthquakes shook the region, causing significant damage to the temple's structure. The massive stone blocks that once formed its walls and columns were toppled, scattering across the site like the remnants of a fallen giant. But it wasn't just nature that took its toll. Human intervention played a significant role in the temple's destruction. As the Roman Empire waned and new powers rose, the temple lost its religious significance, becoming a quarry for building materials. Its stones were repurposed for other constructions, and its statues, once revered as symbols of divine power, were likely dismantled or melted down for their valuable materials. One of the most intriguing theories about the missing statues suggests that they were broken into fragments and reused in later buildings. In the ancient world, it was common practice to repurpose materials from older structures, especially those made of marble or bronze. The colossal statues of Jupiter and other deities, carved from precious stone or cast in metal, would have been prime targets for such reuse. Some fragments may have been incorporated into churches, mosques, or even private homes, their original forms unrecognizable. Others might have been melted down, their metal recast into coins, tools, or weapons. This practice, while practical for those who carried it out, meant that the statue's original grandeur and significance were lost, leaving only scattered clues for modern researchers to piece together. Another possibility is that the statues were deliberately destroyed during periods of religious or political upheaval. As Christianity spread across the Roman Empire, pagan temples like the one in Baalbek often became targets for iconoclasm, the deliberate destruction of religious images. The colossal statues of Jupiter, representing a rival faith, may have been toppled, smashed, or defaced as a way to assert the dominance of the new religion. While this theory is difficult to confirm, it offers a compelling explanation for the disappearance of these once mighty figures. Could fragments of the statues still exist, hidden beneath the rubble of the temple or buried in the surrounding landscape? The mystery of the Temple of Jupiter's missing statues is more than a historical puzzle. It's a reminder of how the passage of time can erase even the most monumental achievements. These statues were not just works of art, they were expressions of faith, power, and human ingenuity. Their disappearance leaves us with a void, a gap in our understanding of how the ancient Romans honored their gods and expressed their beliefs. Yet, even in their absence, the statues continue to captivate us, urging us to imagine what they might have looked like and to appreciate the skill and dedication of the artisans who created them. As we explore the ruins of the Temple of Jupiter, we are reminded that the past is not just about what remains, it's also about what has been lost. The missing statues of Baalbek are a testament to the fragility of cultural heritage and the enduring power of myth. Whether these colossal figures are still hidden in fragments or lost to history, their story continues to inspire us, inviting us to keep searching, keep questioning, and keep uncovering the secrets of the ancient world. And in that search, we find not only the echoes of a forgotten civilization, but also the enduring allure of the unknown, urging us to imagine what might still lie beneath the stones of Baalbek. Deep within the ancient city of Teotihuacan, just outside modern-day Mexico City, lies the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, a structure steeped in mystery and wonder. Known to the Aztecs as the Citadel, this pyramid is one of the most iconic and enigmatic sites in Mesoamerica. Its intricate carvings of feathered serpents and other mythological creatures hint at a deep spiritual significance, but what truly captivates researchers and treasure hunters alike are the whispers of hidden chambers buried beneath its stone foundations. Could these secret spaces hold treasures or clues that reveal the secrets of Teotihuacan's enigmatic civilization? In recent years, modern technology has shed new light on this ancient mystery. Using advanced techniques like muon tomography, a method that detects density variations in structures, researchers have identified large voids beneath the temple. These hidden chambers, some of which appear to be man-made, have sparked intense speculation. Could they be burial sites for Teotihuacan's elite, repositories for sacred artifacts, or even ceremonial spaces used in rituals long forgotten? The possibilities are as tantalizing as they are numerous, and each discovery brings us closer to understanding the temple's true purpose. One of the most compelling theories suggests that these chambers might contain offerings to the gods, including precious metals, jade, and other valuables. The Temple of the Feathered Serpent was not just a place of worship, it was a symbol of power and divine connection for the Teotihuacan people. Offerings placed within its hidden depths would have been seen as a way to secure the favor of the gods, ensuring prosperity and protection for the city. If such treasures exist, they could provide invaluable insights into the beliefs and practices of this ancient civilization, offering a glimpse into a world that has long since vanished. But the mystery doesn't end there. Some researchers believe that the hidden chambers might also hold clues to the temple's construction and the identity of its builders. Teotihuacan's origins remain shrouded in mystery, with no written records to explain who built the city or why it was abandoned. The discovery of artifacts or inscriptions within these chambers could finally provide answers to these enduring questions. Were the builders of Teotihuacan a single unified culture, or was the city a melting pot of different peoples and traditions? The answers might lie just beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered. As we continue to explore the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, we are reminded that the past is not always as distant as it seems. The hidden chambers beneath its stones are more than just physical spaces. They are portals to a forgotten world, offering us a chance to connect with the people who once walked these ancient streets. Whether these chambers hold treasures, secrets, or simply more questions, their discovery is a testament to the enduring allure of Teotihuacan and the mysteries it still holds. And as we stand before this ancient temple, we are invited to imagine what might still lie hidden, waiting for the right moment to reveal its secrets. The Temple of Luxor, a jewel of ancient Egypt, stands as a testament to the grandeur of the New Kingdom. Built over centuries by pharaohs like Amenhotep III and Ramses II, this sprawling complex was once adorned with towering obelisks, colossal statues, and intricate carvings that celebrated the divine power of the pharaohs and the gods they worshipped. Yet today, the temple is incomplete. Its iconic obelisks, once symbols of Egypt's might and spiritual connection, are missing. Where did they go, and what does their absence tell us about the movement of cultural treasures across the globe? One of the most famous missing obelisks from Luxor now stands in the heart of Paris at the Place de la Concorde. Known as the Luxor Obelisk, this 75-foot-tall monument was gifted to France in the early 19th century by Muhammad Ali, the ruler of Egypt at the time. Its journey from the banks of the Nile to the streets of Paris was no small feat. It took years of planning, engineering, and labor to transport the massive stone pillar across the Mediterranean. While the obelisk's relocation was celebrated as a triumph of human ingenuity, it also sparked debates about the ethics of removing such a significant artifact from its original context. Was this a generous gift or an act of cultural appropriation? Across the Atlantic, another obelisk from Luxor found a new home in New York City's Central Park. Known as Cleopatra's Needle, this ancient monument was gifted to the United States in the late 19th century as a gesture of goodwill. Like its counterpart in Paris, the obelisk's relocation was a monumental undertaking, requiring innovative engineering and significant resources. Yet its presence in Central Park has also raised questions. Does it belong there, surrounded by skyscrapers and urban life? Or should it be returned to Egypt, where it was originally erected as a tribute to the gods and pharaohs? The debate over these obelisks reflects a much larger issue: the movement of cultural treasures from their places of origin to museums and public spaces around the world. For centuries, artifacts from ancient civilizations have been taken, traded, or gifted, often under circumstances that are now viewed as problematic. While these objects have become symbols of global heritage, their displacement has left gaps in the cultural landscapes of their homelands. The obelisks of Luxor, for example, were not just decorative, they were integral to the temple's spiritual and architectural identity. Their removal has left the temple feeling incomplete, a shadow of its former self. Yet, the story of these obelisks is not just about loss, it's also about connection. Their presence in Paris and New York has introduced millions of people to the wonders of ancient Egypt, sparking curiosity and appreciation for a civilization that thrived thousands of years ago. These monuments serve as bridges between cultures, reminding us of the shared human desire to create, honor, and preserve. But as we admire them, we must also ask ourselves, How do we balance the global appreciation of cultural heritage with the need to respect and restore the integrity of its origins? The mystery of Luxor's missing obelisks invites us to reflect on the complexities of cultural exchange and the responsibilities that come with preserving the past. Whether these monuments remain abroad or one day return to Egypt, their story is a reminder that the treasures of the ancient world are not just objects, they are living connections to the people and places that created them. And as we continue to explore these connections, we are challenged to think deeply about how we honor and protect the legacy of civilizations that came before us. Perched on the slopes of Mount Parnassus in Greece, the Temple of Apollo at Delphi was once the spiritual heart of the ancient world. Known as the home of the Oracle of Delphi, this sacred site drew pilgrims, kings, and philosophers from across the Mediterranean, all seeking guidance from the god Apollo through his prophetic priestess. The temple was not only a place of worship but also a treasure house of offerings, gold, silver, and priceless artifacts brought by those hoping to win the favor of the gods. Yet today, much of this wealth has vanished, leaving behind a mystery as enigmatic as the oracle herself. What happened to the treasures of Delphi, and could they still be hidden somewhere waiting to be discovered? The decline of the Temple of Apollo began long before its physical destruction. As the Roman Empire expanded and Christianity rose to prominence, the oracle's influence waned and the temple fell into disrepair. Earthquakes and natural erosion further weakened its structure, but it was human hands that dealt the most devastating blows. Invaders from the Gauls to the Romans saw Delphi as a target ripe for plunder. The temple's treasures, once offerings to the gods, became spoils of war, carried off to fund military campaigns or adorn the palaces of conquerors. Yet, despite these losses, whispers persist that not all of Delphi's riches were taken. Could some of its treasures have been hidden away, safeguarded by priests or locals determined to protect their sacred heritage? One theory suggests that the priests of Apollo, foreseeing the temple's vulnerability, may have concealed its most valuable artifacts in secret chambers or remote locations. Ancient texts and local legends speak of hidden vaults beneath the temple or in the surrounding mountains, where sacred objects could be shielded from invaders. While no definitive evidence has been found, modern archaeologists have used ground-penetrating radar and other technologies to search for these elusive spaces. The possibility that treasures still lie hidden beneath Delphi's ruins adds an air of intrigue to this ancient site, inviting us to imagine what might still be waiting to be uncovered. Another angle to consider is the role of natural disasters in the temple's decline. Delphi sits in a seismically active region, and earthquakes have repeatedly shaken the area over the centuries. These tremors could have buried parts of the temple and its treasures under layers of rubble, preserving them from looters but also making them harder to find. The idea that Delphi's treasures might be hidden not by human hands but by the forces of nature adds another layer to the mystery, reminding us of the unpredictable ways in which history can be both lost and preserved. The story of Delphi's missing treasures is more than a tale of loss. It's a reflection of the enduring power of faith and the lengths to which people will go to protect what they hold sacred. Whether these artifacts were stolen, hidden, or buried by time, their absence leaves us with a void, a gap in our understanding of how the ancient Greeks honored their gods and sought their guidance. Yet, even in their absence, these treasures continue to inspire us, urging us to explore the ruins of Delphi and imagine the splendor that once filled its halls. As we stand before the temple's weathered stones, we are reminded that the past is not just about what remains. It's also about what has been lost and how those losses shape our connection to the ancient world. And in that connection, we find not only the echoes of a forgotten civilization, but also the enduring allure of the unknown, inviting us to keep searching, keep questioning, and keep uncovering the secrets of Delphi. Nestled within the Grand Palace complex in Bangkok, the Temple of the Emerald Buddha, or Wat Phra Kieu, is one of Thailand's most sacred and revered sites. At its heart sits the Emerald Buddha itself, a small but exquisitely carved statue made of green jade, believed to bring prosperity and protection to the kingdom. For centuries, this temple has been a symbol of Thai identity and spirituality, its treasures reflecting the devotion of kings and commoners alike. Yet, like so many ancient sites, Wat Phra Kieu has not been immune to the ravages of history. Wars, invasions, and the passage of time have stripped it of some of its most precious relics, leaving behind a trail of questions and intrigue. The story of the temple's lost treasures is deeply intertwined with the turbulent history of Southeast Asia. Over the centuries, the region has seen countless conflicts, from the rise and fall of empires to the incursions of foreign powers. During these periods of upheaval, temples like Wat Phra Kieu often became targets for plunder. Invaders seeking to assert their dominance or fund their campaigns would strip these sacred sites of their valuables, gold, jewels, and sacred artifacts that held both material and spiritual significance. Some of these treasures were melted down or repurposed, while others were carried off as trophies, their stories lost to the annals of history. One of the most intriguing mysteries surrounding Wat Phra Kieu involves the fate of its stolen relics. Historical accounts suggest that during periods of conflict, some of the temple's most sacred objects were taken by conquerors as symbols of their victory. These relics, once revered as conduits of divine power, became spoils of war, displayed in foreign courts or hidden away in private collections. The loss of these artifacts was not just a blow to the temple's physical wealth, it was a spiritual and cultural wound, severing the connection between the Thai people and their sacred heritage. Yet, despite these losses, whispers persist that some relics may still exist, waiting to be rediscovered and returned to their rightful home. The question of what happened to these stolen treasures opens up a fascinating discussion about the movement of cultural artifacts across borders. In some cases, relics taken from Wat Phra Kieu may have ended up in museums or private collections far from Thailand, their origins obscured by time and distance. Others might have been lost or destroyed, their stories erased by the chaos of war. But there's also the tantalizing possibility that some relics were hidden away, either by the temple's caretakers or by those who sought to protect them from further desecration. Could these sacred objects still lie hidden, waiting for the right moment to resurface? The mystery of Wat Phra Kieu's stolen relics is more than a historical curiosity. It's a reminder of the fragility of cultural heritage and the enduring power of faith. These artifacts were not just symbols of wealth, they were expressions of a people's identity, their connection to the divine, and their hopes for the future. Their disappearance challenges us to consider how we protect and preserve the treasures of the past, especially in a world where history is so often shaped by conflict and conquest. As we explore the story of Wat Phra Kieu, we are invited to imagine what might still lie hidden, waiting to be uncovered, and to reflect on the ways in which the past continues to shape our present. High in the Andes, not far from the Temple of the Sun in Cusco, lies another marvel of Inca architecture, the Temple of the Moon, known as Quilla Rumiyoc in Quechua. This sacred site was dedicated to Mama Quilla, the moon goddess, and served as a counterpart to the Sun Temple's grandeur. While it may not have been as opulent as its solar counterpart, the Temple of the Moon was no less significant. Legends speak of its hidden chambers filled with gold and silver offerings, treasures meant to honor the moon's divine influence over agriculture, fertility, and time. Yet, like so many Inca sites, the temple's riches have vanished, leaving behind a mystery that continues to captivate treasure hunters and historians alike. The Spanish conquest of the Inca Empire in the 16th century marked a turning point for the Temple of the Moon. When the conquistadors arrived, they were driven by a singular obsession: gold. To them, the precious metal was not a sacred offering but a commodity to be seized and melted down. The temple, like many others, became a target. Historical accounts suggest that the Spanish stripped the site of its treasures, melting its gold into ingots to be shipped back to Spain. Though once sacred offerings to Mama Quilla were reduced to mere currency, their spiritual significance erased by the fires of greed. Yet, despite the thoroughness of the Spanish plunder, whispers persist that not all of the temple's gold was taken. Could some of it have been hidden away, safeguarded by the Inca in a desperate bid to protect their heritage? The passage of time has only deepened the mystery. Over the centuries, earthquakes and erosion have taken their toll on the Temple of the Moon, burying parts of its structure under layers of earth and rubble. These natural forces may have concealed hidden chambers or caches of gold, preserving them from looters but also making them harder to find. Modern archaeologists have used ground-penetrating radar and other technologies to search for these elusive spaces, but the temple's secrets remain stubbornly hidden. The idea that gold might still lie buried beneath its ruins adds an air of intrigue to this ancient site, inviting us to imagine what might still be waiting to be uncovered. One of the most compelling theories about the temple's missing gold involves the Incas' ingenuity in hiding their treasures. Faced with the relentless advance of the Spanish, the Inca may have transported gold and other valuables to remote locations in the Andes, burying them in hidden caches that have yet to be discovered. Stories of such hidden treasures have fueled countless expeditions over the centuries, but the rugged terrain and lack of written records have made the search a daunting task. Could the gold of the Temple of the Moon still lie hidden in the mountains, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself? The mystery of the Temple of the Moon's lost gold is more than a historical puzzle. It's a reminder of the resilience of a civilization under siege. For the Inca, the loss of their treasures was not just a material blow, it was a spiritual and cultural catastrophe. The gold and silver offerings were not mere objects, they were expressions of a worldview, a connection to the divine that was severed by the Spanish conquest. Yet, even in the face of such devastation, the Incas' determination to preserve their heritage offers a glimmer of hope. The possibility that some of their sacred gold remains hidden is a testament to their ingenuity and their unbreakable bond with the land they called home. As we stand before the ruins of the Temple of the Moon, we are reminded that the past is not always as lost as it seems. The missing gold is more than a symbol of wealth, it's a symbol of resistance, resilience, and the enduring power of myth. Whether these treasures are still hidden in the Andes or lost to history, their story continues to inspire us, urging us to keep searching, keep questioning, and keep uncovering the secrets of the ancient world. And in that search, we find not only the echoes of a forgotten civilization, but also the enduring allure of the unknown, inviting us to imagine what might still lie beneath the stones of the Temple of the Moon. The Temple of the Sun in Palmyra, Syria, stands as a haunting reminder of both ancient grandeur and modern tragedy. Built nearly 2,000 years ago, this magnificent structure was a testament to the ingenuity and artistry of the Pomeran people, blending Roman and Middle Eastern architectural styles into a breathtaking monument to the sun god Bel. Its towering columns and intricate carvings once drew pilgrims and travelers from across the ancient world, eager to witness its splendor. Yet today, the temple lies in ruins, its treasures scattered or destroyed, a victim of the relentless march of time and the devastating actions of ISIS. In 2015, the world watched in horror as ISIS militants targeted Palmyra, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, as part of their campaign to erase cultural heritage. The Temple of the Sun, one of the city's most iconic landmarks, was deliberately destroyed, its ancient stones reduced to rubble. The loss was not just physical, it was a blow to humanity's shared history. The temple's artifacts, from statues and inscriptions to ceremonial objects, were either obliterated or looted, leaving behind a void that can never be fully filled. For archaeologists and historians, the destruction of Palmyra was a stark reminder of how fragile our connection to the past can be. But amidst the devastation, there's a glimmer of hope and a lingering mystery. While many artifacts were destroyed, others may have been smuggled out of Syria and sold on the black market. The illicit trade in antiquities has long been a lucrative enterprise, and the chaos of war provided the perfect cover for looters and traffickers. Some experts believe that treasures from the Temple of the Sun could still exist, hidden in private collections or waiting to resurface in auction houses. These artifacts, if recovered, could offer invaluable insights into the culture and beliefs of ancient Palmyra. But their journey from the temple to the black market raises troubling questions about how we protect and preserve our shared heritage. The story of the Temple of the Sun is not just about loss, it's about resilience. Efforts to rebuild and restore Palmyra are underway, with archaeologists and engineers working to piece together the shattered remains of the temple. Using 3D modeling and advanced reconstruction techniques, they hope to recreate its former glory, even if only in part. Yet, the missing artifacts remain a poignant reminder of what has been lost. Were they destroyed, or do they still exist, waiting to be rediscovered? The answer may lie in the shadows of the black market, where the treasures of the past are traded like commodities, their stories silenced by greed. As we reflect on the fate of the Temple of the Sun, we are reminded of the enduring power of cultural heritage and the responsibility we all share to protect it. The temple's treasures were not just objects, they were expressions of a civilization's identity, its connection to the divine, and its place in the world. Their disappearance challenges us to consider how we honor and preserve the legacy of those who came before us. And as we continue to explore the mysteries of Palmyra, we are invited to imagine what might still lie hidden, waiting to be uncovered, and to reflect on the ways in which the past continues to shape our present. Deep within the dense jungles of Guatemala, the Temple of the Jaguar rises like a sentinel over the ancient city of Tikal. This towering pyramid, one of the most iconic structures of the Maya civilization, has long been a source of fascination for archaeologists and adventurers alike. Its name, derived from the intricate jaguar carvings that adorn its steps, hints at the spiritual significance of this sacred site. But beyond its striking exterior lies a mystery that has captivated researchers for decades: the possibility of hidden tombs buried deep within its stone foundations. Could these secret chambers hold the remains of Tikal's elite, along with treasures that have lain undisturbed for centuries? Modern excavations have begun to shed light on this tantalizing possibility. Using advanced technologies like LiDAR scanning and ground-penetrating radar, researchers have identified anomalies beneath the temple's structure, voids and passages that suggest the presence of hidden chambers. These findings have sparked a wave of excitement, as they could point to the existence of royal tombs, much like those discovered in other Maya sites such as Palenque and Capan. If such tombs exist, they could contain not only the remains of Tikal's rulers, but also offerings of jade, obsidian, and other precious materials, placed there to accompany the deceased into the afterlife. The idea of hidden tombs beneath the Temple of the Jaguar isn't just about uncovering treasure. It's about piecing together the story of Tikal itself. The Maya believed that their rulers were divine intermediaries capable of communicating with the gods. Burial sites within the temple would have been more than just resting places. They would have been sacred spaces designed to honor the dead and ensure their continued influence in the spiritual realm. Discovering these tombs could provide invaluable insights into the rituals, beliefs, and political structure of Tikal's society, offering a glimpse into a civilization that thrived over 1,000 years ago. Yet, the search for these tombs is not without its challenges. The dense jungle surrounding Tikal has long made excavation difficult, and the temple's fragile structure requires careful handling to avoid damage. Archaeologists must balance their desire to uncover the past with the need to preserve it for future generations. This delicate dance between exploration and conservation is a reminder of how much we still have to learn about the Maya and their world. As we stand before the Temple of the Jaguar, its weathered stones whispering secrets of a bygone era, we are reminded that the past is not always as distant as it seems. The possibility of hidden tombs beneath its steps invites us to imagine what might still lie buried, waiting to be discovered. Could these chambers hold the key to understanding Tikal's rise and fall, or might they reveal treasures that rewrite our understanding of the Maya? The answers may lie just beneath our feet, hidden in the shadows of history, urging us to keep searching, keep questioning, and keep uncovering the stories of those who came before us. Carved into the rose-red cliffs of Petra, Jordan, the Temple of the Winds stands as a silent witness to the ingenuity and artistry of the Nabateans. This ancient civilization, known for their mastery of trade and architecture, created Petra as a thriving hub of commerce and culture. The Temple of the Winds, with its intricate carvings and commanding presence, was once a place of worship and a repository of sacred relics. Yet today, its halls are empty, its treasures vanished, leaving behind a mystery as enigmatic as the desert winds that sweep through the canyon. The decline of the Temple of the Winds began long before its physical decay. As the Nabatean kingdom fell under Roman rule and later faced the rise of new powers, the temple lost its prominence. Earthquakes and erosion further weakened its structure, but it was human intervention that dealt the final blow. Over the centuries, the temple became a target for looters and opportunists who saw its artifacts as valuable commodities rather than sacred objects. Gold, silver, and ceremonial items that once adorned its altars were carried off, their stories lost to the sands of time. Yet, despite these losses, whispers persist that not all of the temple's relics were taken. Could some have been hidden away, safeguarded by those who sought to protect their heritage? One theory suggests that the Nabateans, foreseeing the temple's vulnerability, may have concealed its most precious artifacts in secret chambers or remote locations. The rugged terrain surrounding Petra, with its labyrinth of caves and hidden passages, would have provided the perfect hiding place. Stories of such hidden treasures have fueled countless expeditions, but the harsh desert environment and the lack of written records have made the search a daunting task. Could relics from the Temple of the Winds still lie buried beneath the cliffs, waiting for the right moment to be uncovered? Another angle to consider is the role of natural disasters in the temple's decline. Petra sits in a seismically active region, and earthquakes have repeatedly shaken the area over the centuries. These tremors could have buried parts of the temple and its treasures under layers of rubble, preserving them from looters but also making them harder to find. The idea that relics might be hidden not by human hands but by the forces of nature adds another layer to the mystery, reminding us of the unpredictable ways in which history can be both lost and preserved. The story of the Temple of the Winds is more than a tale of loss. It's a reflection of the enduring power of faith and the lengths to which people will go to protect what they hold sacred. Whether these relics were stolen, hidden, or buried by time, their absence leaves us with a void, a gap in our understanding of how the Nabateans honored their gods and expressed their beliefs. Yet, even in their absence, these treasures continue to inspire us, urging us to explore the ruins of Petra and imagine the splendor that once filled its halls. As we stand before the temple's weathered stones, we are reminded that the past is not just about what remains. It's also about what has been lost and how those losses shape our connection to the ancient world. And in that connection, we find not only the echoes of a forgotten civilization, but also the enduring allure of the unknown. inviting us to keep searching, keep questioning, and keep uncovering the secrets of Petra. High in the mist-shrouded peaks of the Andes, the Temple of the Sun in Machu Picchu stands as a testament to the Incas' unparalleled architectural genius and spiritual devotion. This sacred structure, nestled within the ancient citadel, was a place of profound reverence dedicated to Inti, the sun god. Its curved stone walls and precisely aligned windows were designed to capture the sun's rays during solstices, creating a celestial connection between the heavens and the earth. Yet for all its grandeur, the temple holds a mystery that has intrigued explorers and historians for centuries: the legend of its hidden gold. What happened to the treasures that once adorned this sacred space, and could they still lie hidden in the mountains surrounding Machu Picchu? The story of the Temple of the Sun's treasures is deeply intertwined with the tragic history of the Spanish conquest. When the conquistadors arrived in the 16th century, they were driven by an insatiable hunger for gold. To the Inca, gold was not a symbol of wealth but a sacred material, a reflection of the sun's divine power. The temple's golden ornaments and offerings were expressions of this spiritual connection, not mere objects of greed. Yet the Spanish saw only the material value, and their relentless pursuit of Inca gold led to the plundering of countless sacred sites. The Temple of the Sun, like so many others, became a target. Historical accounts suggest that much of its gold was seized, melted down, and shipped to Spain, leaving the temple stripped of its sacred adornments. But not all of the temple's treasures may have fallen into Spanish hands. As the Inca Empire crumbled under the weight of conquest, stories emerged of priests and nobles hiding gold and other valuables to protect them from the invaders. The rugged terrain of the Andes, with its hidden caves and remote valleys, would have provided the perfect sanctuary for these treasures. Some believe that the Temple of the Sun's gold was transported to secret locations, buried deep within the mountains or concealed in underground chambers. These legends have fueled countless expeditions over the centuries, but the harsh landscape and lack of written records have made the search a daunting challenge. The abandonment of Machu Picchu adds another layer to the mystery. By the time the Spanish arrived, the citadel had already been deserted, its purpose and treasures left to the mercy of time and nature. The reasons for its abandonment remain unclear, but theories range from disease and warfare to environmental changes. Whatever the cause, the temple's treasures were left behind, hidden beneath layers of earth and vegetation. Over the centuries, the jungle reclaimed the site, concealing its secrets from the outside world. It wasn't until the early 20th century, when explorer Hiram Bingham rediscovered Machu Picchu, that the world became aware of its existence and the possibility of hidden gold. Modern technology has reignited hope of uncovering these lost treasures. Ground-penetrating radar and LiDAR scanning have revealed hidden structures and pathways beneath the temple, suggesting the presence of undiscovered chambers or caches. While no definitive evidence of gold has been found, the tantalizing possibility remains. Could the Temple of the Sun's treasures still lie hidden, waiting for the right moment to be uncovered? The answer may lie in the surrounding mountains, where the Incas' ingenuity and determination to protect their heritage could have left a legacy that endures to this day. The mystery of the Temple of the Sun's hidden gold is more than a historical puzzle. It's a reminder of the resilience of a civilization under siege. For the Inca, the loss of their treasures was not just a material blow, it was a spiritual and cultural catastrophe. Yet, even in the face of such devastation, their determination to preserve their heritage offers a glimmer of hope. Whether the gold is still hidden in the mountains or lost to history, its story continues to inspire us, urging us to explore the ruins of Machu Picchu and imagine the splendor that once filled its halls. As we stand before the temple's weathered stones, we are reminded that the past is not just about what remains. It's also about what has been lost and how those losses shape our connection to the ancient world. And in that connection, we find not only the echoes of a forgotten civilization, but also the enduring allure of the unknown, inviting us to keep searching, keep questioning, and keep uncovering the secrets of Machu Picchu. In the quest to uncover the lost treasures of the world's oldest temples, modern technology has become an indispensable ally. Archaeologists and historians are no longer limited to shovels and brushes. Today, they wield tools like ground-penetrating radar, LiDAR scanning, and satellite imaging to peer beneath the Earth's surface and into the hidden corners of history. These advanced techniques have revolutionized the way we explore ancient sites, offering glimpses into spaces that were once thought inaccessible. From the dense jungles of Guatemala to the sun-baked ruins of Petra, these tools are helping to map hidden chambers, detect buried artifacts, and piece together the stories of civilizations long gone. One of the most exciting developments in recent years has been the use of LiDAR technology in places like Tikal and Angkor Wat. By sending laser pulses from aircraft, researchers can create detailed 3D maps of the terrain, revealing structures and pathways obscured by centuries of vegetation. This technology has already uncovered entire networks of roads, canals, and even previously unknown temples, hinting at the possibility of undiscovered treasures lying beneath the surface. Similarly, ground-penetrating radar has been employed at sites like Göbekli Tepe and the Temple of the Sun in Machu Picchu, where it has detected anomalies that could point to hidden chambers or caches of artifacts. These discoveries are not just about finding gold or jewels, they're about unlocking the secrets of how ancient societies lived, worshipped, and thrived. Governments and international organizations are also playing a crucial role in these efforts. In Egypt, for example, the Ministry of Antiquities has launched ambitious projects to scan the Valley of the Kings and the Temple of Karnak for hidden tombs and treasures. Meanwhile, in Cambodia, teams are working to preserve and explore the sprawling complex of Angkor Wat, using cutting-edge technology to uncover its lost relics. These initiatives are often collaborative, bringing together experts from around the world to share knowledge and resources. The goal is not just to recover artifacts, but to protect and preserve them for future generations, ensuring that these treasures remain a part of our shared heritage. Yet, the search for lost treasures is not without its challenges. Many of these sites are located in remote or politically unstable regions, making access difficult and sometimes dangerous. Ethical considerations also come into play, as the removal of artifacts from their original context can raise questions about cultural ownership and preservation. Some argue that treasures should remain where they are, protected by the very earth that has hidden them for centuries. Others believe that recovering and studying these artifacts is essential to understanding our past. Striking a balance between these perspectives is one of the greatest challenges facing modern archaeology. Despite these hurdles, the potential rewards are immense. Every discovery, no matter how small, adds a piece to the puzzle of human history. A hidden chamber beneath the Temple of the Jaguar could reveal new insights into Maya rituals. A forgotten vault in the Temple of Apollo might shed light on ancient Greek spirituality. And who knows, the next breakthrough could be just around the corner, waiting for the right combination of technology, determination, and a little bit of luck to bring it to light. As we continue to explore these ancient sites, we are reminded that the past is not static. It's a living, breathing story that evolves with every new discovery. The treasures of the world's oldest temples are more than just objects. They are windows into the lives, beliefs, and dreams of those who came before us. And while many mysteries remain unsolved, the tools and techniques of modern archaeology are bringing us closer than ever to uncovering the truth. Perhaps one day, the secrets of these ancient temples will no longer be hidden, and the treasures they once held will finally be returned to the light. Until then, the search continues, fueled by curiosity, innovation, and an unshakable belief that the past still has much to teach us. As we reach the end of our journey through the mysteries of the world's oldest temples, one thing becomes abundantly clear. These ancient sites are far more than crumbling stones and forgotten ruins. They are living testaments to the ingenuity, faith, and creativity of the civilizations that built them. From the towering spires of Angkor Wat to the sunlit terraces of Machu Picchu, each temple tells a story of devotion, power, and the eternal human quest to connect with something greater than ourselves. And yet, woven into these stories is a thread of mystery, a tantalizing question that lingers in the air. Where did their treasures go? Throughout this exploration, we've uncovered theories as varied as the temples themselves. Some treasures were lost to the ravages of time, buried beneath layers of earth or swallowed by the jungle. Others were plundered by invaders, their sacred significance reduced to mere spoils of war. And then there are the whispers of hidden chambers and secret caches, where priests and rulers may have safeguarded their most precious relics, hoping to protect them from destruction. These mysteries remind us that the past is not a static record but a dynamic puzzle, one that continues to challenge and inspire us. But why do these missing treasures matter? Beyond the allure of gold and jewels, they represent something far more profound, a connection to our shared human history. Each artifact, whether a golden statue or a simple ceremonial tool, carries the imprint of the people who created it. They tell us how ancient societies worshipped, how they understood the world, and how they sought to leave their mark on it. The loss of these treasures is not just a historical curiosity, it's a gap in our collective memory, a missing piece of the story that defines who we are. This is why the preservation of cultural heritage is so vital. These temples and their treasures are not relics of a distant past. They are bridges that connect us to the people who came before us. They remind us of the resilience of human creativity and the enduring power of faith. And as we continue to explore these ancient sites, we are not just uncovering artifacts, we are rediscovering the stories that bind us together as a global community. So, what other secrets do these ancient temples hold, waiting to be uncovered? Could hidden chambers still lie beneath the stones of Göbekli Tepe, or might the treasures of the Temple of the Sun in Cusco still be hidden in the Andes? The answers may lie just beyond our reach, but the search itself is a testament to our unquenchable curiosity and our desire to understand the world around us. As we close this chapter, we invite you to join the conversation. What do you think happened to the treasures of these ancient temples? Do you believe they are lost forever, or could they still be waiting to be found? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more explorations into history's greatest enigmas. Together, let's keep uncovering the stories that shape our world, one mystery at a time.